Hey guys, I'm gonna attempt to do a shorter video on this one. I know I tend to talk a lot. We're gonna do another controversial topic. And I am running out of time. I'm going to pick up my coworker, but I may address this in further depth later. But this is a very, very important one, and this video is going to be targeted more for trans parents and trans kids. Yep, I said it. So my viewpoint on whether kids should be able to transition is very, very split, and we're going to go into details on the pros and cons, because my honest answer is, without being in that situation, I honestly don't know how I would handle it. If my daughter was to come up to me in 3 years and say, hey, I feel like a boy, I'm a boy, I don't know how I'd handle it. And we're going to go into the pros and cons of this. So we're going to start with devil's advocate first. The cons. So anymore, as difficult as it is for trans and everything else, as far as kids and teens go and stuff, right now at least, it's almost a trend. And it makes it harder for those of us who are really trans, but there are many out there who are transitioning either for attention or just because they want to be different, and not because that's who they really feel that they are. And it makes it more difficult for the rest of us in that people doubt whether it's just a phase or this, that, or the other thing. That's part of the reason I wanted to do these videos, because there are a lot out there where, don't mean to call people out, but it's just, hey, look at me, I'm trans. That's not the point of these videos. The point of these videos is to get a better understanding between cisgender and transgender people. So obviously the attention and trend side of thing is a huge, huge con. Because how do you know for sure that this is what your kid wants and not a trend? There are ways to tell with the brain now if somebody is truly transgender, but you can only do that after death. Those parts of the brain can only be viewed after death. So short of killing your child and checking their brain, you don't know for sure. As a parent, it's going to be up to you to decide how well you know your child, and if you think that it's something that they really are going through or not. Another con to this is that if it is just a phase for them, once you start hormone therapy, these changes are permanent to an extent. Granted, yes, I have to be on hormones for the rest of my life, or stuff will start to change back, but there are certain things that will never change. For male to female, the breast growth will very, very rarely go completely away. It can reduce again in future, but it will never ever go completely away. The other appendage will shrink or stop growing with the HRT. If you start before puberty and you're male to female, it will keep your voice from dropping. And so vice versa, some of these cons they're cons if it's a phase. At the same time, they're huge pros if the child is serious. And we'll go into a little bit more detail on why when we get there. For female to male, testosterone exposure will irreparably change your voice without vocal training, as we've gotten into in the videos where I've discussed the options for changing your voice. That's why a trans boy won't always have to do voice therapy, because testosterone will actually physically change the muscles, your vocal cords, and all that stuff in there. So these are like permanent effects. So you want to like know with 100% certainty. So kids, if you're trans, you've come out to your parents, and they're reluctant to let you start actual hormone therapy, whether or not they're being supportive of your pronouns and stuff like that. Sometimes that's a fear of just protecting you. It's not them trying to necessarily say that you can't be trans or anything else. It's they want to be sure this is what you want. So, you know what? Come out to them and wait a couple years. One benefit would be to coming out before puberty is that a lot of the changes that happen in puberty will not happen. They can put you on stoppers. So effects are more permanent, and you don't have to go through as much. Like me, if I'd started transition before puberty, I wouldn't be having the issues with my voice that I have now. It'd be a lot easier to do vocal training. I wouldn't have to deal with the hair growth as far as facial or body hair. So there are definitely pros and cons. I am out of time for the day. If you guys like this video and want more info, let me know and I will do another longer video on it. But that's it for today. I gotta pick up my coworker. Bye for now.